Bible fun!
Hello!
Hello!
It's so good to have you here. If you're new, I'm Ben.
And I'm Ruthie.
And welcome to Mast Bible Fun.
Today we've got a great lineup of crafts, songs and stories.
So we're going to start with a song.
Remember to sing loudly and join in with the actions.
I'm gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna sing my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna sing my praise to heaven. I will run this race and I will never stop. I follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you've got such a lot, when you've got not a lot, what? Be happy. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I'm gonna jump up and down, gonna spin right around, gonna praise your name forever. I'm gonna shout out loud, gonna deafen the crowd, gonna send my praise to heaven. I will run this race and I will never stop. I follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you've got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy. I will run this race and I will never stop. I follow Jesus till the day I drop. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When you've got such a lot, when you got not a lot, what? Be happy.
Now it's time to read a story. So let's hear what happened after Easter. On the road, that very evening, two men were walking towards the village of Emmaus, discussing what had happened. And Jesus was walking with them, but they did not recognize him. They told him what happened and how sad they were because they had lost hope. Jesus said to them, "How slow your hearts to believe. Do you not understand that the Messiah must pass through death to give people life?" And he began to explain to them the words of the prophets. When they drew near the village, the two men said to Jesus, "It is late. Night is fallen. Stay with us." And Jesus stayed with them for supper. He sat down to eat and took the bread. He blessed it and broke it into pieces and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened and they knew him. But at the last instant Jesus disappeared. The two said to each other, "Didn't our hearts burn within us as his words along the road?" They set out at once for Jerusalem. They found the disciples of Jesus who told each other, "It is true, the Lord has risen." Hello.
Hi Ben,
Hello everyone.
where have you been?
Well, can you guess where I've been? So we've got a shell, we've got more shells, and of course a bucket and spade.
Can you guess where he's been?
Wow, I've been to the beach. After I had heard the story, I went to the beach and I remembered a poem. Let me tell it to you now. Footprints in the Sand by Carolyn Joyce Carty. One night a man had a dream. He dreamed he was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the sky flashed scenes from his life. For each scene he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of his life flashed before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand. He noticed that many times along the path his life there was only one set of footprints. He noticed that it happened at the very saddest times in his life. Lord, you said, if I follow you, you will walk with me. I don't understand. The Lord replied, my son, my precious child, I love you and I would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you.
You guessed it, it's craft time. Do you remember what we did last week? Well, to jog your memory, have a look at these cool pictures that were sent in by Abigail and Elizabeth. And if you'd like to see your picture of what you've made on our screen, then send it in to the email address now. You are going to need some cardboard. You can colour it in, you can use coloured card, or you could even use some wrapping paper on top to decorate it. Mine's plain at the moment. Just use whatever you've got at home. You'll need some pipe cleaners, some decorations, preferably beads, but I don't have any beads, so I'm using ribbons, buttons and some other gems. You'll need some scissors, some glue, a good pen, a sharp pencil, and a few coloured pens. The first thing you need to do is use your cardboard to draw around either your foot or a flip-flop that you already have. So use a bright coloured pen, as that will help you when you're cutting it out. This is mine that I've done so far. Now I'm going to cut it out. So here are my two templates for the base of my flip-flop. If you want to add any decoration, then now is the time to do it. I've decided to cover mine in stars. You can colour yours in whichever way you like, and you can use whatever you've got at home. The next step is to take a sharp pencil, and I find it easy to use a ball of blue tack. Put it behind your flip-flop and place a hole by pushing down quite hard. When you pull out the pencil, you should have a hole, and you can just make it a little bit bigger by flattening the cardboard at the back. You'll actually need 3 holes. So once you've done the top one, you'll then need a hole in the middle of your flip-flop and on the other side as well. So one on the right and one on the left. Don't go too close to the edge, otherwise your cardboard could rip. But do exactly the same on both sides, like so. Then you've just got to do exactly the same thing to the other flip-flop. The next thing to do is to take your pipe cleaner. If you have some beads, now would be the time to thread them on, but because I'm using ribbon, I have attached it at the end, and I'm just going to simply wrap the ribbon around the pipe cleaner, like so. Of course, you can design it however you like. And here's one I did earlier. You need to make 2 in order to make this flip-flop. So once you've done that, take the cardboard, thread the first pipe cleaner through the hole at the top, and the other end needs to go through the hole on the right. As you can see, make sure there's a bit of a gap for your foot, and then on the back you can tighten it. So snip any excess pipe cleaner that you have. Through the top again, flatten at the back, and through the hole on the right. Maybe put some beads or ribbon on the straps. You can add any jazzy details that you would like. For example, you might want to stick a button on or 2. And all that requires is some glue. Of course, you can add as much decoration as you like. But here we have it. A ready-made flip-flop.
Did you know, because of God, the water stays wet and the rocks remain firm? The laws of gravity remain the same from generation to generation. With his hand at the helm of creation, spring still follows winter, and winter follows autumn. There is an order to the universe. He sustains everything.
Does your heart get pumping? Does your heart get pumping? Your feet get jumping? Are you spending all your time on a treasure quest? Your heart won't rest till you have what looks so fine. Climbing to the top. Tell me, will it ever stop? Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forever. Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forevermore. Does your heart get pumping? Your feet get jumping? Are you spending all your time on a treasure quest? Your heart won't rest till you have what looks so fine. Climbing to the top. Tell me, will it ever stop? Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forever. Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forever. Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forever. Jesus said to live, give and give and give. Store your treasure in heaven where it lasts forevermore. In heaven where it lasts forevermore.
It's time to do a prayer. If you want to make this prayer your own, join in by saying Amen. Dear God, you are good and wise. We praise you when we rise. Jesus, hear the prayer we send, and bless our families and our friends. Jesus, help our eyes to see all the good you send to me. Jesus, help our ears to hear calls for help from far and near. Jesus, help our feet to go in the way that you would show. Jesus, help our hands to do all things loving, kind and true. Jesus, guard us through the day in all that we do and say. Amen.
May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us all evermore. Amen.
We have run out of time now.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode.
Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel.
See you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.